whip my head back and forth. I whip my head back and forth. We got ourselves some spicy drama to talk about today. I guess it's not really drama, but I do want to discuss the whole scene of grading right now because I feel like a lot of people are having a lot of problems with the major grading companies. This is a more serious topic. I want to give all my insight about it. You know, I've graded with all of them now. I've graded, well, with the three we're going to be talking about, which is PSA, Beckett, and CGC. But before we get into that conversation, let's do a giveaway. Day 5 of uploading for 25 days straight. Merry freaking Vertmas, everybody. I literally just woke up. This is pretty good. Found this at the Dollar Tree. Y'all know how the giveaway works. Every single video, we're giving away one of these packs from the tree. There are 13 green packs left with Sword and Shield, Scarlet, and Violet. There are still 5 red packs on the tree with either Sun and Moon or X and Y. There are 2 blue packs left on the tree with black and white packs, and there is still the 1 gold that everybody wants. So at this point, what is it, like a 1 in 20 chance to get the gold? Every day that we don't pull like the blues or the golds and stuff, I know we want to pull them ASAP, but the chances get better. And this one is the one I've been wanting to pick for a while now, so I feel like we just got to save that one at this point. I don't know if there's anything good in it, but let's go right next to it and see what happens. I just want to get something other than a freaking green. The winner of today's pack opening is this person right here, so congratulations. I hope you get a hit. If you get a hit from the pack, I'm gonna be shipping it out to you. Also, as we open this pack, y'all, I just wanna say thank you so freaking much for all the comments on the videos recently. I know I've been terrible at responding. I have this like rule with myself when I'm not doing daily uploads. I try to respond to everybody's comments. God dang it, bro. Greens on freaking greens, dude. I can't believe we haven't even got a red yet. That's actually wild. All right, well, there's only 12. Yeah, there's only 12 greens left on the tree. So at least we're getting there. Yeah, but I just want to say, y'all, thank you so much for the comments on every single video. I see them, okay? Like, I do go through. God dang, bro. Scarlet and Violet pack too. I'm so sorry, my friend. I'm so sorry, my friend. You can't win them all right? But hopefully we can at least get you a hit. I mean, we can still get Gardevoir SIR. Oh, wait. What am I doing? I was big tripping for a second. Is that something? God dang it, what a freaking waste. Not gonna lie, these packs have been freaking pain so far. But yeah, I just didn't want y'all to think that I'm ignoring you or anything. I literally have to wake up, shoot, record, edit, work all day. Sometimes it can be hard to like respond to all the comments and stuff, but I do see them, and I just want to let y'all know it's extremely appreciated, like more than you probably think. I love reading the comments. I'm at least gonna try to go through and drop a heart on everyone just to let y'all know that I am seeing them. If y'all want to join the giveaway for tomorrow's tree opening, drop a like on the video, comment your plans for Christmas. I don't know, even if you're just staying home, that's what I'll be doing too. And subscribe with the bell. But there's one more thing this time. This one's gonna be a Discord exclusive giveaway. So the link is in the description of this video to join our Discord. It's completely free. We have one of the best Pokemon Discords out there. And on the left side of the screen, you'll see all the different channels. Just click on the giveaways channel near the bottom and you'll just hit participate. But I freaking love y'all, fam. Let's get into the video. We're actually gonna be talking about 4 grading companies because I'm gonna throw AGS in there. This is a question I get asked like every single day. Who should I grade with? Who's the most trusted? What do you get the most money from? Who gives you the most value back? All the questions you can think of under the sun. I see them in comments on TikTok, on YouTube, on Instagram, everything. I don't know if there is necessarily a correct answer, but I think there's a lot of things that I can tell y'all that can help you make the decision on who you want to grade with. The first thing we'll talk about is value. So which slab company is going to give you the best value for your slabs between PSA, Beckett, CGC, and AGS? AGS is going to be dead last because they're a really new company when it comes to grading. They do have the robo technology and all that stuff. They just don't have the graded cards there. They don't have the time spent in the industry and stuff to bring a lot of value to your cards. Like an AGS 10, I don't even know if that, you know, it's probably not going to take the value of your cards up that much. Then you got CGC, if I'm not mistaken, is actually been grading cards the longest out of all these companies. They're going to be third place. PSA just holds more value, and that's fact. You know, CGC might have an off card here or there that sells for more than a PSA. And then I've seen them try to like boast about that, like this CGC 10 just sold more than this PSA 10. Yeah, I mean, you're always going to have off sales like that for some reason at an auction, somebody might just pay higher for this card. But no, PSA 100% is going to be more valuable than CGC when you're comparing a PSA 10 to a CGC 10. I'll put two cards on screen right now, and I'm going to put the PSA 10 price in a 10 and the CGC price in a 10 over it. I know this is only one example, but at least you can see the difference in pricing. But I would put PSA and Beckett tied, right? Because a PSA 10 is going to hold more value than a Beckett 10. Beckett has the black label, so there's nothing that is more valuable or more expensive than a black label. If you don't know what the black label is with Beckett, it's a perfect card, and Beckett grades really, really hard. It is very hard to get a black label. The card literally has to be perfect. It means perfect on the corners, surface, edges, all that good stuff. And then you get a perfect 10. So not only is it just a 10, because Beckett has a regular 10 that'll have a gold label, but the black label means the card's a 10, but every single subcategory also got the 10. So black label is the most expensive. But if you're only comparing a regular Beckett 10 to a PSA 10, PSA is going to be in the number one spot there. So I would put Beckett and PSA at the top of value. All right, let's get straight into the drama of it. What company has the least amount of problems? I don't know. Lately, I've been seeing problems with all these companies. You know, I'll go ahead and say I'm biased against CGC, and y'all probably know this. But is it bias, or is it just personal experiences I have that are bad about a company, and that's why I don't like them? What I'm trying to say is I think it's a valid reason to be biased, because if PSA did me dirty like that, I'd hate PSA. If AGS did me dirty like that, then I wouldn't like AGS. Personally, I can say that the worst of the worst company is CGC. Shout out Opossum Bud. He has a lot of videos on this topic in general, not just CGC. He's talked about CGC problems. He's talked about PSA problems. He probably has more videos about it. So I'd recommend you go dive into Opossum's channel to learn more about the problems with the grading companies. Me personally, CGC is the worst. I've had multiple problems with them myself. From one time they graded these Charizards completely horribly. Like, these things were dust. They probably should have been getting like a CGC 5 or below. And not only were they getting CGC 10s, they were getting the gold 10s. And this was one submission of, like, I did a whole video on it. I can't even remember. I think CGC reached out to me actually about it on Instagram, and I'm talking to them and they wouldn't give me a straight answer. Then they told me they had to go on some vacation or some BS, and then never responded back to me. Then the whole miscut error thing, that went crazy. It got really, really big. I cut the cards manually, sent them to CGC. CGC labeled them as an actual miscut error card. The card shouldn't have been graded. They should have said these were manually cut and not put them in a slab. So it was just going to show that, you know, CGC literally couldn't grade them correctly. You pay them for their services, authenticating cards and grading them. Like, people tend to forget that these companies are there to authenticate your cards. A professional grading company that was unable to tell me that these cards were manually cut, and the cuts weren't even clean, whatever. I'm sure you all know the story. So yeah, instead of simply owning up to the mistake and saying sorry, you know, they could have easily said, sorry, this doesn't happen a lot. We want you to still have trust in our ability to grade error cards and all that good stuff. Instead of doing that, they banned me from ever grading with them again. And, you know, I think for anybody that was just a slap in the face. But like me specifically, I've graded thousands and thousands of cards with them. And so it's like, I felt like they made a mistake. They didn't want to own up to it. Instead, they're just going to ban me after I've spent a ton of money with them. I mean, I literally still can't believe how poorly that was handled. And then it just felt like petty. Like they blocked me on Instagram and everything, and people to this day still ask me if there's an update, and there's not. There's no update, because I just dropped it. Everybody's like, sue them. Nah, like, it's not that serious. The video went viral on multiple platforms, like 3 million views on Instagram, like I think it's at like 2 million on TikTok. Dexirdo or whatever it is, that gaming like news type of deal. Like, they posted the story about it. CGC got what they deserved from doing this, like 100%. That definitely hurt CGC. And it's not just me either is the problem. Opossum at one point had reached out to them about somebody was tampering with the cards using that cleaner stuff or something on the cards. I don't know exactly how the story goes. Go check out his full video on it, because he also shared DMs with them. Same exact thing. They, you know, they don't want anything to do with it. CGC is just scummy, y'all. CGC is a very scummy company, in my opinion. And when I posted my stuff and it started going viral, I can't verify if any of the horror stories are true, but you can go through the comments of those videos and there are endless amounts of comments saying CGC has lost my submission, or CGC this, CGC has done this, and it's just scummy. They don't refund money. They don't do this. I can't verify those. I don't know. Second to worst company for having problems, I'd probably say is PSA. I'm keeping it non-biased, y'all. PSA is my favorite company to grade with, but I think they're probably next up. I've seen Opossum do videos on them as well. I've had one personal problem with PSA. I sent my metal gold cards from the Celebrations UPC to them. When I first got those things back, I saw a big chip on the back of the card, and I'm like, what the heck is this? There's no way. I would have never sent this card off if it had this big chip on it. So then I actually went back and watched my video where I unboxed those cards. Surely enough, there was no chip in the card. But then I still was thinking, like, maybe I damaged this card putting it in the box to ship off or something, so I never said anything about it. Then it comes out like a week later that this happened to somebody else in our Discord. Shout out S-Dog. He sent some pictures of his cards chipped up. He actually reached out to PSA about it, and they basically said, like, when you send your cards off, you know, you're signing that away and you're saying you realize that your metal cards especially can be chipped when they're put into our slab cases. And that's just it. And I do not agree with that whatsoever. I think that's ridiculous. Be careful grading your metal cards with PSA, that's for sure. They've definitely had more problems. I'm pretty sure Rock Sandy just did a video on this. The corners of the cards were like, I think they were damaged in the cases or something. I can't exactly remember, but probably going to be doing a full video on this one soon. Just kind of waiting to see how everything plays out with this. One of my moderators who lives out of the country actually sent his cards to PSA, and long story short, they have been lost by PSA, and that is a massive problem. I'm very, very curious to see how PSA is going to handle this. You know, that's your collectibles, bro. That, you know, a lot of those cards probably have a really big like story and meaning behind them, especially if they're personally pulled. I think you take that risk with any company, but I'm just telling you what I've seen firsthand is that, yeah, he lost a big submission. PSA is saying they can't find it. So we'll see what happens with that. You know, subscribe because that video will be coming soon at some point. Beckett. I'd put Beckett next up. I've graded one single card with Beckett in my life. I've graded thousands with PSA, thousands with CGC. I've graded one single card with Beckett in my life just because I think they're a lot more pricey to grade with. It was the Umbreon VMAX Alt-Art from Evo Skies. It was the most expensive card I had ever pulled in my life at that point. It was like 2 years ago when this happened. And so I sent it to Beckett in hopes to get the black label, and the slab came back cracked. Super long story short, emails. I ended up getting on the phone with somebody, and you know, they didn't do jack crap. They didn't do shit. I just think that sometimes these companies forget like how meaningful the card is to each and every person, because, you know, they might get freaking hundreds of thousands of cards submitted each month, but those cards are super meaningful to people. And so Beckett is 1 for 1 for making mistakes, and although it's not the biggest mistake ever, I think the bigger mistake again in that situation was just how they handled it. It was just handled really poorly, poor business. And then you got AGS. The only problem I've ever had with them is they sent me a submission that came with a free mug, and the mug was cracked. You don't want to see in the box with your slabs. Although the slabs weren't cracked, the slabs were completely fine, but I opened the box up and the mug was cracked in there, like shattered into pieces. Because I was like, oh, I don't want, you know, if it can happen to my mug, I don't want my slabs getting cracked too everywhere. I put that in a video, and they actually called me on my personal phone the next day. It was like, we're gonna get you a new mug out and stuff. I talked about this in the past, but They definitely handled it the best by far out of all these companies, and it was just a small mistake. It was the smallest mistake out of all of them, and they handled it the best. So in the problematic category, I think AGS takes the win here. The last one we'll talk about is who grades the most precisely. And I see all the time in comments, I see people saying that AGS is using robo grading, so they're gonna be the best ones. That's what they market that their company does. If I'm not mistaken, every single company does that. Like every single company scans the cards, looks at them on a computer, as well as manually looking at them. Like AGS has done a great job of marketing themselves as only using AI to grade the cards. I'm almost 100% sure, and y'all can let me know if this is wrong, but every other company, PSA, Beckett, and CG Shit, all scan the cards on a computer. You know, they have the lines and everything that, you know, marks them off wherever they should be marked off. You know, they're not marketing themselves as AI, but I'm pretty sure that every grading company does that at this point. CGC used to be really, really strict, but now they've loosened up to the point they're trying to be more like PSA. So I'm going to go ahead and put them dead last of like who grades the most strict and who's like on point with it the most. Up next in third place, I'd probably put PSA for this one. They're pretty easy to get 10s with, which is a pro and a con because PSA 10s hold a lot of value, some of the most valuable in the industry, and they're not that hard to get PSA 10s. There's been so many cases. I've done this with both CGC and PSA where I've cracked slabs and resubmitted them and get completely different grades, and those can go up, they can go down. I mean, I've seen it all. You know, technically those cards should be staying the exact same grade, and they never do. Well, sometimes they do, but a lot of times they change. Number 2, I'll put AGS, but I really don't know. They're just too new of a company. They say they got AI and all this, and I know like we want to trust AI a lot because AI is doing great things right now. Big changes in the world are coming from AI. It's like we don't know how good their AI system is. I've actually seen the things they grade with, and they don't look like, it's not like some huge, or you would think this company that's growing like rapidly has these huge AI machines that they put cards into and 100% accurate. They've got these little machines that are like this big that they put the cards into. Like you can go on their website and look at the machines they use. And those machines might be, that might be all you need. You know, I don't know. I'm just saying how I personally look at it as I'm like, it just kind of looks like a cheap little machine that you stick a card into, and that's completely just an opinion I have. I guess what I'm trying to say is when it comes to AGS, I really don't know how accurate they are. I haven't graded with them a ton. The times I have, I just feel iffy on it. I feel like the grades don't always match what I've seen most grades get with other companies. So I don't know. I don't really know about AGS. And then at the number 1 spot, I put Beckett. I think that's commonly, everybody agrees upon that. Like Beckett's pretty freaking strict with grading, but I've seen a lot of people where they'll crack their slabs, resubmit them, and get the same grade back, which is exactly what you want to see. You want a company that can tell you absolute and official grade of your card, and it seems like Beckett is the go-to company for that. Who do I suggest y'all grade with? Who do I grade with? And should you even be grading cards at all? Well, I grade with PSA. Only now. PSA is the only company I grade with anymore. It's the industry standard. They're gonna hold your value. If you want to sell your slabs, PSA is the way to go. Personally, other than that chip in the card, I personally haven't had any problems whatsoever with PSA and have graded thousands and thousands of cards with them. So that's a good stat sheet to me. Who do I recommend you not grade your cards with? CGC. Fuck CGC. Although PSA and CGC have had problems, I think it's different when PSA has a problem. Like with my mod, hopefully they take care of them and make it right. But I've seen both of them have problems, but I've only seen CGC handle it, and they handle it like shit every single time. I suggest not giving your money to a company that handles problems that like poorly. But who do I suggest y'all grade your cards with? Depends what you want. I mean, first you want to decide what slab you like the best. Which one looks the best to you? To me, that's PSA, but to you, it might be Beckett. And Beckett is probably going to be the most protective slab. They got them heavy duty, thick, sharp cornered slabs. So, and then it's like, also, do you want the easy 10? Not to say PSA is easy, but it's going to be a lot easier than Beckett. So do you care more about having the 10 on your card, or do you care more about a very specific grade? If you care about the specific grade, probably Beckett. I would recommend to y'all either PSA or Beckett, depending on what you want. And then lastly, should you even grade your cards, or is it just a big scam like a lot of people are saying right now? I love grading, man. I really enjoy grading. It's one of my favorite things about the hobby. During Vertmas, I'm going to do a video on showing you all my entire slab collection. So that'll be coming soon. Subscribe for that. This right here is a freaking $3,000 card. I recently did a video on this and like my whole journey of getting this card and everything. Fun shipping your cards off. Yeah, it's a little nerve-wracking. There's something that could happen to your cards, but it's fun getting a submission back and being like, if you can hold yourself from checking the email, like don't look at the grades before, and then when you get them, unboxing them and seeing if you're getting 10s on this and this, and it's like, oh, why didn't this one get a 10 and stuff like that. It's just fun. On top of it just being fun, yes, it increases the value of your cards if you're getting high grades on them. If you're in the market to sell your cards, I think grading is definitely a good option for you. I think also they make great display pieces. Like, yeah, I could just have this card sitting in a binder, but now I have it in a slab case that I'm super proud of, in a PSA 10, and now I want to show it off on the shelf somewhere. So I'm all for grading. Again, to me, it's just fuck CGC. Choose anybody but them. Let me know in the comments who's your favorite grading company and why. Every company is going to have problems. Outside of Pokemon even, like every company is going to have problems. I think it says a lot about companies on how they handle those problems, because regardless, nobody's perfect. People are gonna make mistakes. It definitely shines a light on the company on how problems are handled after the fact. Hope this helped y'all. Just wanted to give my 2 cents on the grading companies and all that stuff, and appreciate y'all tuning in, man. This has been another day of Vertmas, and I will see y'all in tomorrow's video. Peace.
Talk about my last thing, my ex tryna catch me lacking. Wouldn't do all these things for her, I like my women classy.